So we looked at several different charities in the Lower Mainland, and we wanted to make sure that the charity we chose would really use that $5,000 if we had won it to causes that were important to us, right? And as we looked at the Bloom Group, we really saw how they supported women with the different services that they have. And they also have something unique where they help women immediately and they help people who are homeless immediately, but they also have long-term foundations that help support women with getting out of homelessness and reducing the homelessness population in Vancouver as a whole.
So YPI stands for Youth and Philanthropy Initiative, and what it is, the purpose of it is to teach secondary school students the fundamentals of philanthropy. And so they do this by assigning a project to grade 10 students, I think it is. And so basically the grade 10 students, they choose a social issue that's important to them. So they represent their charity and their social issue through a series of presentations in their school. And it gives them the opportunity to make a financial grant to their local charity of choice.
We chose women's homelessness, and we chose it because we felt like we really saw the stigma around women, especially because I think when people think of homelessness, you think of men or anything around that. And growing up around this area, we really saw that it was a social issue that was so prevalent. So we wanted to raise awareness for it.
We attend Princess Margaret Secondary in Surrey.
Hi, my name is Sukhneet Dhesi.
Hi, my name is Shubhreet Aulakh.
Hi, I'm Sukhneet.
Hello, my name is Myra Oscar.
We were also really impressed with how the Bloom Group focuses on so many different services and how they provide so much for different groups of people.
Two of the programs that really stood out to us from the Bloom Group were the Spring House and Power Plays, and we just really liked how they focused on helping women and their children.
So our project consisted of more of a PowerPoint presentation with a speech, and the main goal that we had was making it both informative and interactive for our audience, because we want them to take away from this presentation, but we also want to make sure that they're getting the right statistics and facts with it.
And I think that game really helped them see how prevalent this problem is in our society and how they could help.
It allowed them to be interacted with our presentation, right? It wasn't just a PowerPoint, but it was a message that we hope that resonated with them, right? We hope that they could have created a change with that.
We started off by having a true and false game at the beginning with some facts, and we noticed how our audience mainly got those questions wrong, which was totally okay. And throughout the presentation, when we spoke about different facts and stories, we played another true and false game towards the end, and it was drastic of how many people got the questions right after that, and that kind of connected back to how we wanted them to take away from what we were doing and what our message was.
We came upon the Bloom Group online while we were researching, and we had multiple charities that we were going to email, and we did email, but we unfortunately didn't get a response. But we got a response from Bloom Group, and we researched more about it, and then we visited, and we automatically felt like a connection to Bloom Group. And we loved how it felt like a family, it felt like a community, and we thought a lot of other charities didn't have that, so it really stood out to us.
I think it really showed us how privileged we are, because before this, we never really took a look around our community and saw how many people were really struggling. But as we learned things throughout the project, we really saw how we can do our part and how easy it is to just help, even though you don't think you can, but it's really easy to just learn and try to advocate.
And I think we learned how to advocate in so many different ways as well. It definitely sharpened up our communication skills, our presenting skills, how to speak in a way that would be impactful and important to our audience as well. So we had a slide about menstruation for women's homelessness, because we thought that it didn't really get talked about as much. You think of homelessness, you think about the struggle for housing, and you think about the struggle for getting food and access to basic necessities, but I think we fail to realize sometimes that basic hygiene is a part of that, and especially for women who are menstruating, getting access to these, especially in this economic climate in Vancouver, that is expensive and that's hard to do.
Yeah, because we can't expect them to, choose between staying clean and having a meal.
After we had researched about homelessness, especially in Vancouver, some of the stats that we saw were really surprising. And I think a lot of people don't take their time to educate themselves on homelessness, especially, but like even homelessness in Vancouver, right? And you don't realize how many people actually suffer with homelessness, right? And like there's like so much hidden homelessness that like it's just like some of the stats were really like surprising to us.
I think one stat in particular that was shocking to us was about the amount of people experiencing homelessness that were Indigenous. So the stat is that people who are Indigenous are 13.2 times more likely to experience homelessness, which is, that number alone is shocking, right? And it really provides to like the intersectionality of the issue itself, of how, yes, this is impacting women's homelessness, but there are so many other groups of people that this also impacts.
I think it's really important that the topic you choose, you are really genuine about it and you really care, because you're trying to show everyone that you care and that you want to see a change in this social issue. So it's important that you pick something that you really like resonate with.
You don't just want to choose a topic because you're doing it for the sake of completing a project for your teachers, or because you kind of have to get over it for school, but because you genuinely care and you want to make an impact on your school. And at the end, it doesn't matter if you won or not. What matters is you made that positive impact on your school and your community, and you raised awareness on your social issue.
YPI has really allowed us to open our eyes and see the different ways that we can make an impact. And initially, how we have made an impact through like the $5,000 donation. But now we want to see if we can bring it back into like our own school community and kind of get more people to kind of experience what we got to experience. So if we can do that through a club, if we can do that through educating others, through different people in the industry who specialize in this sort of thing, we'd really like that to happen.
I think like this project was like a really good opportunity to like kind of be out there. It like allowed us to like really have our like eyes opened in a way. And like even after like we researched and everything, it really showed that like everybody needs like knowledge on like topics like these. So I'm really grateful that we got to do something like this where we could be educated and where we could educate others.
There was this one part in our presentation which I think really opened everyone's eyes. It was, we had everyone like raise their hand if they've ever like stigmatized a homeless person before, and we all raised our hands because even though we want to change and we want everyone to change too, it's like we obviously have like stigmatized them because it's just like a natural thought when you think about it. But I think now after this project, it's really opened our eyes and changed how we thought about them.
And it helped us kind of realize that like a part of fixing the problem or like advocating for it is kind of realizing what really needs to be changed. And I think through little acts of just asking our audience if they've ever stigmatized, like help prove that.
We're so thankful to have worked with the Bloom Group. I don't think we'd choose a different charity.
Some ways that you can do your part are
Through advocacy,
Fundraising,
And volunteering.
the Bloom Group,
community,
services,
Together.